This is CTV News, made for students by students.
Produced for students by students. For Channel 11, this is CTV News.
Welcome to CTV News on Wednesday, the 22nd day of February. I'm Kirsten Swanson.
And I'm Dylan Thomas.
We are joined by our sports anchor, Scott Houston, with news on the Rams' big upset last night. Scott?
Yeah, it was an enormous game last night, Kirsten, for the Rams. It's their first game of 3 against ranked opponents. In the conference, they took on the New Mexico Lobos last night, ranked at number 18, and it did not disappoint. Tim Miles and the Rams trying to keep their home win streak alive against New Mexico. Late in the first, Jesse Carr with a dunk, throwing it down against them. It was a great way to spice up the game for the Rams. Here we go, there it is. Jesse Carr throwing it down against New Mexico, but the Lobos answer back right away, hitting the deep three before the buzzer. Boom, there it goes, 29-30 at the half. In the second, 36-34 New Mexico. Greg Smith driving and getting to the rims. Rams tie it up. New Mexico struggled at the 3 later, but they get the rebound, put it back for the 2, tie it up 46-46. But then Wes Eichmeyer goes along the baseline, gets the reverse layup to give the Rams the lead 53-50. Then the dagger at the end. Pierce Hornung throws it down, putting the game away 71-63. Rams pull off the upset. This win was huge, but as Coach Miles said in the press conference last night, it's great, but it is far from the end. We have an equally important game this Saturday. SDSU, that is. We dominated the Aztecs a few weeks ago at Moby, and they have dropped their last 3 games, but the Rams have really struggled on the road, only getting 2 wins outside of Moby on the year. Tip-off will be in San Diego at 8 o'clock this Saturday. The Rams have moved within 1 game of the Aztecs in the standings after beating the number 1 team in the conference in New Mexico. So if we can take one of the next 2 games, our tournament chances will be great. We're currently sitting in the last 4 in the bracketology for March Madness after last night's win. So these next 2 games will be 2 of the most important on the season. CSU has really done well recently against ranked opponents, and especially at home. But I think our biggest challenge will be Las Vegas next week after San Diego State on Saturday.
You know, it'll be really great to get Will Bell back as well, and also it is vital to not lose at Air Force in 2 weeks.
Yeah, he was sitting out with a sprained knee, and Air Force is always a tough game, especially on the road. Rams have not been playing well this season. Like I said, only getting 2 wins.
And we also really need a big presence out at Moby Arena next week when we play UNLV. That's really going to be important to get CSU attention.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. But that's all the time we have for our sports tonight.
All right, well,
hopefully we can fill it up next time.
Speaking of sports, CSU has certainly been getting a lot of attention, including talks of a possible on-campus football stadium. But another sports facility here at CSU has just recently been nationally recognized. The National Intramural Recreational Sports Association has recognized CSU's Rec Center with the 2012 Outstanding Sports Facility Award. Facilities that are selected are evaluated on their sustainable features, along with many other criteria. The building opened in September 2010 with more than 73,000 square feet of new construction.
You know, staying on campus today, it was really windy.
It was very windy. Kari, can you tell us how much that wind played a factor into everything?
Issue in Colorado today, even causing a few brush fires to spread, but luckily those have been contained. Parts of the state saw wind that reached up to 100 miles an hour though, and we'll see a high wind advisory until early Thursday morning. I braved the wind earlier and got a few shots that prove what a windy day it truly was on campus. As you can see, that flag almost completely straightened out from the wind and the plants completely bent over. It definitely was not a good day to get around, but temperatures reached a surprisingly warm 59 degrees. Wind stretched all the way down from Wyoming down to Fairplay, and the mountains will be seeing a winter storm warning with steamboats seeing a possible 18 inches. Tonight that wind will continue and we'll see a chance of snow as temperatures drop and a cold front moves in. Tomorrow morning, expect to see a few snow flurries and much colder temps with highs that will only reach the mid-30s. Let's take a look at your 7-day forecast. Thursday, that wind will stick around with gusts reaching about 40 miles per hour and a partly sunny sky. Friday will be sunny and slightly less windy with highs reaching the upper 30s. Saturday will warm up during the day with temperatures getting up to the mid 50s, but will drop down again with a chance of snow in the evening. Sunday, that chance of snow will continue and highs will stay in the upper 30s throughout the day. And finally, Monday and Tuesday will both be partly sunny with another chance of snow. That's all I have for you this week. Don't get blown away. Back to you on the desk.
All right, thanks, Kari. French journalist Remy Ochlik and American war correspondent Mary Colvin were killed Wednesday in Syria shelling incident in Homs. The shelling occurred after President Bashar Assad's regime escalated its attack on the rebel bases. Hundreds have died, which is pushing Syria toward full-scale civil war.
At least 49 people are dead and 600 others injured in Buenos Aires, Argentina tonight. A passenger train failed to stop and slammed into a barrier early Wednesday morning. The crash resulted in the train's second car pushing almost 20 feet into the first car. Authorities said they believe there were problems with the brakes, which may have played into the cause of the crash. And coming up on CTV News, we'll take a look at who was on campus last night.
Definitely, and we'll tell you about a terrible disease coming from Longmont High School. Stay with us.
If you're looking for a new pet that you can cherish every day, consider adopting from a shelter. Shelters are full of healthy, loyal, fun, loving pets, eager to become a part of your family. A person is the best thing to happen to a shelter pet, so bring home your new buddy today. To find out more, you can visit theshelterpetproject.org.
The Planned Parenthood congressional investigation is looking at the allocation of finances they use in their clinics. The CSU community got the chance to hear from one woman who has been on both sides of the debate.
Eventually, the longer I was there and the more women I met there, I really kind of got entrenched into it.
Pro-life advocate Abby Johnson spoke Tuesday in the Laurie Student Center main ballroom. The ex-Planned Parenthood clinic director left the organization in 2009 after assisting on an abortion that used an ultrasound.
And so I remember looking up at the screen and watching the screen and kind of getting a pit in my stomach because I was thinking, what is this going to look like?
After leaving Planned Parenthood, her experiences helped shape her pro-life platform.
You know, I am thankful that I was there. I mean, I don't think we'll do a lot of good if we sit back and are regretful of every decision we've made. I mean, I think I was put there for a reason and put there for a purpose.
The speech was followed by a Q&A where attendants, both pro-life and pro-choice, responded to Abby's experiences.
I think she made a lot of good points, and I think it'd be a good idea for not everyone, well, yes, everyone, but for like a lot of people to listen to it.
The CSU Students for Life organization sponsored the event and said it was meant to spark discussion.
We really wanted to grab both pro-choice and pro-life students to come.
Abby said she speaks to college students because of the potential they have.
And I really believe that if abortion is going to end in this country, it will be because of this upcoming generation, because they're really passionate and really on fire for the movement.
Connection to the Susan G. Komen Breast Cancer Foundation has also been a subject of debate.
And Mike Hauser is being treated for listeriosis after eating cantaloupe, has died on Tuesday. It is unclear if Hauser's death will be included in the Center for Disease Control's list of at least 30 deaths nationwide caused by the listeria outbreak at Jensen Farms in southeast Colorado. It is believed that Hauser died of a different infection after being sent back to the hospital after recently returning home from the listeriosis treatment. And about 5% of Longmont High School freshmen and 5% of Longmont freshmen and sophomores tested positive for latent tuberculosis. These tests were prompted after a student was diagnosed with TB over winter break. According to the Center of Disease Control, people infected with latent tuberculosis have a 10% chance of developing the active form in their lifetime. All right, well, coming up on CTV, we hear from housing experts that will help you in your search for an apartment.
And we'll tell you about a gigantic sea creature found off the coast of Maine.
Separate raw meats from other foods by using different cutting boards. 3,000 Americans will die from food poisoning this year. Keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
As the season of renting has come, the Off-Campus Life Office is putting on several events to help students make smart living decisions. We were there for their most recent event. As any campus would be, CSU is surrounded by housing. Students met at the Student Center Monday to become expert renters. With food on hand, attendees received important information from professionals.
Financial planning. One of the things we really want to impress upon students is that an education is not only just on campus, but it's also off campus. And really part of life is figuring out what needs to be paid, what needs to be covered. So really my goal is to really help students make educated decisions, really know what expenses to plan for and what resources there are available to help cover those expenses.
The Off-Campus Living Office hosted the event to prepare new renters for next year.
I think unless you're going to live in an apartment or a condominium somewhere where they're going to do a lot of that maintenance for you, just make sure you know going in that you've got a lawn that needs to be watered and mowed and trash that needs to be picked up, and that it's your responsibility to pick that up, and that the sidewalk adjacent to the street in front or the side of your house needs to be shoveled.
The experts who spoke at the event expressed their admiration for the event.
Anytime we can collaborate with the university to help kids with that transition, help them be successful living off campus and being good neighbors, and making good choices with landlords and where they're going to live and that kind of thing. So this is like an opportunity we would look forward to, is just visiting with students and sort of offering some good tips.
On the 29th, the Off-Campus Life Office will be hosting the housing fair in the main ballroom of the Laurie Student Center. That event will have several apartment managers and landlords offering locations that are available all for free. And now, chances are some of you woke up with a headache this morning. If so, you might have been one of the many people who celebrated Mardi Gras last night at the Ramskeller. A costume contest with some awesome prizes, live music from the Northern Colorado Afro-Brazilian Drum Ensemble, Bloco and Foco, and free King's Cake. The event went from 7 to 11 and was brought to you by the CSU French and Dutch Club and the Brazilian Student Association.
An Ohio church today offered a unique Ash Wednesday service. Parishioners that were pressed for time or reluctant to go in had the option of having a drive-through blessing. The drive-through was located in the church parking lot. Ash Wednesday marks the beginning of the Christian season of Lent, a period of 40 days ending with the celebration of Easter. And on Monday, the Maine State Aquarium said it received a 27-pound, 40-inch long lobster. Aquarium officials say the Maine Marine Patrol brought in the lobster. They believe a shrimp dragger accidentally caught the creature, and the lobster is the largest one the aquarium has ever seen. Dylan, we're going to take a look at some pictures actually of this lobster compared to other things just to gauge how big it really is.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see these. I've yet to see these.
Absolutely. Let's take a look. So this is one of the
Holy cow,
aquarium
that is
officials
huge.
absolutely holding the lobster, holding it in her arms. She looks like she might be struggling a little bit. I'm not sure how heavy this is, but it definitely looks like it would be a burden to hold.
Yeah, it definitely looks like it's double the size of my dog at home, and my dog's a decent size, so that is a big lobster.
Absolutely, and this is one with a
Wow.
small child beside it. As you can see, the lobster is almost as large, if not larger than him.
Yeah, definitely. That looks right there like it could be a horse with a normal person walking alongside it. That is a huge lobster. And there you can see it right there next to a regular size lobster. The regular size lobster is in the middle, and the big lobster, his claws alone are double the size of the average size lobster.
Absolutely. If looking at that picture, you might think, just from looking at it, that the little one in the middle might be a mini lobster and the bigger one is actually the main size, but that's a huge lobster right there.
Yeah, definitely. That has to be in the record books for a while.
Definitely.
All right, well, unfortunately, that's all the time we have for you tonight.
Thanks for watching. See you next week.